Hi, welcome to another Yugioh deck profile. So this is going to be for my third place locals Invoked Dogmatika deck. Actually got third place with this a while ago, but I forgot to do the profile for it, so here it is now for everyone to see. Yeah, that's all there is, so we'll just get straight into it, like usual. So for the Invoke portion, it's kind of standard, so 3 Aleister, 2 Invocation, and then 3 Meltdown, and then the 1 Terraforming. So obviously ideally you want to go sort of Terraforming to Meltdown to Aleister to Invocation, and just do your like link plays and stuff, and then go into the fusions after that. But you know, pretty consistent with those bits. And then the Dogmatika stuff is again kind of standard: 3 Ecclesia, 1 Maximus, 1 Fleurdelis, 3 Nadir Servant, and 2 Punishment. Then I might possibly substitute one of the Maximus to Fleurdelis, because you know, we're in a kind of a format where a lot of things like to send stuff in their extra deck to the graveyard to get benefits off of it, like Dogmatika, you know, the stuff they mirror matches and stuff, Drytrons as well, sending a Herald to, you know, get their searches, and then same kind of thing with Tri-brigade, sending their Ferrageets to, you know, draw stuff, and things like that, whereas Fleurdelis is obviously better because of being able to just provide that potential non-target negate against Dragoon or something. You know, it's pretty handy. And just Ecclesia's a good body. Nadir Servant obviously just sending your extra deck stuff in order to get your searches, and then just doing stuff from the stuff you send, and then Punishment being able to have your opponent go -2 depending on the situation that you're in and what you send. But yeah, and you want to make sure as well, because these do lock you out of using the extra deck, that you want to do your Aleister stuff first, then the Dogmatika stuff, which you can do the other way around. Just as a heads up for anybody who's new to this sort of thing. So yeah. And then we run hand traps in this, so we've got a playset of Ash, playset of Droll, and a playset of Meister. I just found this to be a pretty good ratio, and then mixing with the other things that I have for the extra deck, for the Invocation plays. So we've got those. Then for other like spells and traps, we have 2 Prosperity and an Upstart. This would be a 3rd Prosperities if you can get it. So we've got that. Let me just make sure I get this right. Got 2 triple tactical talents. This has proved to be very handy in a lot of games. I had this against a Drytron player. They basically just stopped one of my plays with a hand trap, and then I basically just used this to spin their Cyber Emergency back into the deck, and then basically just scooped from there because I couldn't do anything else. And then Call by the Grave, because, you know, hand traps suck. And then the last of the spells is the 1 Harpie's Feather Duster. I think it's a good name. And then one tech I decided to go with, rather than having Cosmic Cyclones, I went for Evenly Matched. It's a decent board wipe, and then basically I just decided the 3rd one if I needed to. An easy thing to take out as well in certain situations. 2 Ice Dragon's Prison, definitely quite an underrated trap at the moment, but it's just good with being able to deal with, you know, problematic certain cards and stuff. If you can find cards of the same type in the graveyard as well as on the field, you know, non-target banishing is always fun. Worst comes to worst, you got it as an extra, you know, fusion material for your like Invoke plays. And then we do run the Shaddoll package, so we have the 1 Schism in the main. And then that is essentially all there is for the main Dogmatika Invoke stuff. I don't class this as Shaddoll as well, just because of the fact that I only have like the 1 main deck Shaddoll thing. But yeah, you can call it what you will. Then side deck options, I run 3 DD Crow, you know, just helpful with when there's a lot of recursion with certain cards, you know, like Elder Lich and stuff, and then even in mirror matches, you just like the Invocation from your opponent's graveyard or the Aleister. Then they're kind of stuck with what they can do. Then just a small kaiju pack with 3 kaijus. I will go for 3 Gamma Seal, but Godalas was quite handy when you have to deal with the Wind Barrier statue. 3 Up Ruler No More for like break my board situations. For more background hater on the 2 Cyclone, and then 3rd Evenly. And then if I'm now going 2nd, then I just run the extra hand touch so I can get a hold of the 3rd one. And that's basically in the form of 3 Infinite Impermanence. Just, you know, going against Tri-brigade or whatever, stops their main first link play from happening, and things like that. It's just generally a good hand trap, and I just think it's good to have it like that. You could main it if you wanted to, but yeah, just try like that, and it works out perfectly fine. And then extra deck stuff, for non-fusion things, we basically have 1 Almirage, Secure Garner, and Omega. So basically this is just the play where you summon the Aleister, get your Invocation, link off to Almirage, go into Cyber's Gardener, and then fuse into Mechaba after that. And then Omega is just it's an extra deck tending target, because this gets to recycle stuff from your graveyard, but it also gets to reshuffle things from your opponent's graveyard as well. You can mess up with their plays potentially, if you time it right. So we've got those. And then for the other fusions. So the invoked stuff, we've got the 2 Mechaba, obviously the best invoked card, just being able to negate anything is great. The 1 Augoedies, just, you know, popping stuff is always good, and then it could beef itself up if needs be in later situations. Purgatrio, potentially being able to push for game. Raidjin is good for a prosperity target, but, you know, if you get Droll or something, then you can have this just on board, ready to stop your opponent from doing things by flipping their stuff down. 1 Caliga, you know, restricting effects is also pretty handy. And then for the Shaddoll portion, we have the 1 Apkallone to get your search, the 1 Winda for when you want to go into that lock, and then the 1 Construct, which is just an extra thing you can do with Schism, because you have a lot of light targets as one thing, but it's also a good thing to send as an extra, you know, thing for Punishment or Nadir Servant if needs be. The 1 Titaniklad the Ash Dragon to get your Dogmatika stuff ready for during the end phase when you need to, and it's also a dark target that you use for Winda when you have Upclone in the grave. And then finally 2 Nadir, because it's good to be able to pop stuff during your opponent's turn and disrupt their plays. So yeah, that is essentially everything, like I said. So that is my Invoked Dogmatika deck. Very effective, very handy, and just a very good sort of anti-meta type strategy in a sort of sense. But yeah, that's all there is I can say with this deck, and hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll catch you next time for whatever I do next. So long, take care.